Kilometers Mining Weekly is speaking to Jan Nelson, the CEO of Copper 360, a copper mining company that has just released a major resources upgrade of its Rietberg copper mine on the stock exchange news service of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Hi, Jan. It's great to chat to you. Copper 360 has been drilling to test the validity of historic geological database from major companies such as Newmont and Goldfields on the Rietberg copper mine. What do the latest drilling results show at Copper 360's Rietberg mine?
Martin, we've twinned some of the historic holes and the results have been fantastic. They confirm virtually meter for meter and copper percentage for copper percentage exactly what Newmont and Goldfields had stated. So that, gives us confidence that all that data can be used. We also went underground and did a lot of sampling, and all of that confirms what the database has told us. So with that, we've upgraded the resource from 25,000 tons of copper metal to over 80,000 tons of copper metal, and most of that is now sitting in the measured and indicated category. So that's absolutely fantastic for us.
Yes, and that was what you stated before, that it was worth about 1.4 billion, but that was the 25,000 tons. What do you put the value on the new tonnage that you've discovered there?
Martin, we'll soon be moving the resource into reserve. But if you look at the average value we expect to get from the copper, you're now looking at about 12 to 15 billion rands worth of copper sitting in the ground. So, it is quite significant.
And how far is this Rietberg's underground mine development? Because there's also underground mine development there from the copper mineralization.
Yes, Martin, we're fortunate that there are 5 levels that go into the mine, and all of those levels are open. We've accessed them. Many of those levels are actually almost on reef. You can break away on reef. The open ventilation is in order. The rock mechanics are in order. So when we start, it's just a question of breaking away on reef. And that's another major advantage of having this deposit with the pre-development that is in place.
And will Copper 360 need to raise more capital to get the Rietberg copper mine online and ramped up to full potential?
Martin, that's an interesting question. And maybe I'll start by saying, when we started, when we listed, what we thought Rietberg was, if you collate this to water sports, we thought we were going to ride a jet ski. And now we've got an aircraft carrier, so there's no doubt that we're going to have to rethink our growth. And we will definitely need more capital, but we will do that mostly out of debt. We're cautious that we don't want to dilute our shareholders, but we are going to use more capital because, it's one thing to ride a jet ski, it's another thing to steer an aircraft carrier.
That's an incredible description. Well done with that. And then you've got 12 mines. So what role will Rietberg play in Copper 360's overall 12-mine cluster mining plan?
Martin, it plays a central role. It is the core asset. It's the first asset that we're starting up. But, we've drilled Wheel Julia and we will be declaring a resource there soon. And that is a surface deposit that's yield fantastic results. 3 to 5% copper on surface, open to depth. We are looking to drill Cool Cop, another deposit. And what's nice about them is that they will potentially be open pit deposits. And they will feed very nicely with the underground ore that comes from Rietberg. So Rietberg will remain core, but the other deposits will feed in, and it gives us a lot of mining flexibility. So all in all, we are very happy with where things stand at the moment.
And, you've got mostly shallow assets, pre-developed assets, and also surface assets. So these are big advantages. Can you highlight this for us?
Yes, Martin, I think, people have forgotten about the copper district in the Northern Cape. And I think what this does is this propels us within the next 2 years to ramp our production up to 20,000 tons of copper production. And we can easily double that in the next 2 years as a result of the pre-development of the ore bodies and the shallow nature of the ore bodies. And then, all of these ore bodies sit within a 30-kilometer radius of each other, which will feed into a central processing facility. So the bottom line is that this is going to become a dominant copper district, and we plan to be the dominant copper player in South Africa.
And how are you doing as a producer? Because you're already a producer of plate. This was A-grade copper cathode plate. How's that going?
Martin, that's going very well. Production has ramped up very well, despite some issues with load shedding and generators. We've ramped up very well. We are busy with a major upgrade in the SXEW at the moment. When we ordered the mills for the concentrate plant that we're currently building, that'll go into production in November, we had a spare mill, and that mill has got the capacity to mill about 40 tons per hour, where our current requirement is 20 tons. So we're installing that mill, and what that will do is that's going to double the production output in about 2 to 3 months from the SXEW. So we're very excited about that. So there's also very good progress on that front.
And then you're going to have a single processing center for all 12 mines. Can you give us some insight into that?
Yes, Martin. So currently we've got the SXEW that's producing, and we're ramping that up. The first concentrate circuit that will take Rietberg's ore is currently being built, and that will go into production in November, and that the two plants are close to each other. And then we've already done the foundations to build circuit B. So the plan is that the moment that we finish with the first circuit, that'll do about 30,000 tons from Rietberg, we'll build the second circuit, and that'll add another 50,000 tons. So the nice thing is that because it's all central and close together, you know, we've got shared skills there, central focus on metallurgy and excellence, and I think that helps us to just grow faster, and it also makes the production of our copper more efficient.
And finally, Jan, what in your view should be the biggest takeaway from this interview and this resource upgrade that you're announcing today?
Martin, it's simple: jet ski versus aircraft carrier. That's what's now happened to us. We've really thought we had a jet ski in terms of our copper production from Rietberg. We thought it was one level. We'll go for the first ore, then develop down. And with the work we've done, we now have an aircraft carrier, 5 levels, copper all over the place. And that's just changing our entire outlook on the universe.
Fantastic. That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Jan Nelson, the CEO of Copper 360, a copper mining company that has just released major resource upgrades at its Rietberg copper mine. And this was done on the Stock Exchange news service of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.